Welcome back. This is the one place where we cut through the corporate noise, skip the carefully packaged talking points, and talk about elite women's basketball the way it actually deserves to be talked about, raw, honest, and unfiltered. And right now, we are standing at the crossroads of two massive, history-defining moments, and the stakes could not be higher. On one front, we have the highly anticipated FIBA World Cup Championship, where Team USA is gearing up to face a disciplined, tactically sharp Spanish squad. On the other front, behind closed doors at the Langham Hotel in New York City, a high-stakes labor war is actively playing out between WNBA ownership and the players' union, and the numbers involved are staggering. Here's the thing that connects both of these stories. One name, one gravitational force, Caitlin Clark. Everything happening right now, on the court and in the boardroom, is fundamentally shaped by her presence in this sport. We're going to break both battlefields down right now, because what's happening behind the scenes deserves a serious, honest conversation. Let's get into it. Today is Championship Sunday. This is the pinnacle, the moment where everything gets decided, and there is absolutely no room left for political lineup decisions or rotation games. For the past week, head coach Nate Tibbetts and the Team USA staff have been navigating some difficult internal dynamics. Rotation minutes have been managed carefully, and the veteran presence has been heavily prioritized. That approach may have been workable in the earlier rounds against lighter competition. But Spain is a completely different challenge. Spain is organized, experienced, and genuinely dangerous. They run a structured European system, they defend with discipline, and they will absolutely punish any team that plays slow, predictable half-court basketball. And that brings us to the only real conversation that matters heading into this game. Caitlin Clark needs to be the engine of this offense. This isn't about politics. This isn't about narratives. This is about pure basketball logic. When you're facing an elite European defense, you need pace. You need spacing. You need someone who can read the floor at speed, make decisions before the defense can rotate, and punish any coverage they throw at you. Caitlin Clark is, statistically and functionally, the best player on this roster at doing exactly that. She needs to be at the point, with the freedom to run this offense, not as a spot-up option on the wing, not as a secondary ball handler, as the primary decision-maker. The coaching staff has a clear choice in front of them. Put the best player in position to win, or prioritize internal hierarchy and risk an outcome none of us want to see on a global stage. The right call is obvious. We'll find out very soon if they make it. Let's talk about the tournament MVP race, because it's generating some serious heat online. Statistically, Caitlin Clark leads this tournament in points and assists. By the traditional numbers, the argument for her winning MVP is straightforward and compelling. However, several commentators and fan communities have raised concerns, and I want to be transparent here. These are allegations, not confirmed facts, that coordinated voting activity may be artificially inflating support for other candidates like Paige Bueckers in the fan-driven portions of the vote. Whether or not that's actually happening, the broader conversation it sparked is legitimate. When fan votes are part of award decisions, how do you protect the integrity of the result? That's a question the Federation probably needs to address going forward, regardless of who wins. What isn't debatable is what Clark has done on the floor. The numbers are there. The performances have been there. Whatever the final award result is, her impact on this tournament has been undeniable. Now let's pivot to what might actually be the bigger story. Because the entire 2026 WNBA season is currently hanging in the balance. The players' union and the ownership group have been locked in marathon negotiating sessions, 12, 15 hours at a stretch. And as of right now, no collective bargaining agreement has been reached. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert set Monday as a critical internal deadline. The idea was that a deal needed to be in place before the league's operational timeline began to break down. Monday came and went. No deal. In fact, Commissioner Engelbert was in front of a microphone at *3 in the morning **, visibly exhausted, publicly admitting she wasn't sure whether training camp, currently scheduled for April 19th, would even begin on time. That is a significant moment. When a commissioner is openly uncertain about whether her own season will start, it signals to every broadcaster, sponsor and franchise investor that something has gone seriously wrong at the negotiating table. So what is the actual sticking point? Revenue sharing, and specifically the structure of it. The players' union is pushing for a gross revenue sharing model, meaning they want a percentage of total league revenue before operating expenses are accounted for. Reports suggest the ask is somewhere in the range of 30 to 50% of gross. The ownership group's position is that this model is financially unworkable. The WNBA, for most of its history, operated at a loss, heavily subsidized by the NBA. The recent surge in revenue, driven by new television contracts, sold-out arenas, and a wave of new corporate sponsorships, has changed the financial picture dramatically. But ownership argues that gross revenue sharing ignores the massive costs that come with running the league at its new, elevated level. Charter flights, upgraded facilities, expanded marketing, new market expansion. The union's counter is simple. The money is here now, and the players deserve a meaningful share of it. Both sides have legitimate points, but the clock is running, and the collateral damage of a prolonged stalemate is already becoming real. Here's what a failed or delayed CBA actually means in practical terms. The Toronto Tempo * and the Portland Fire *, two brand new expansion franchises that paid significant fees to enter this league, cannot legally begin building their rosters until the labor rules are finalized. They are in limbo. The * collegiate draft is at risk of being delayed or disrupted. Free agency * is frozen. Preseason games *, which serve as crucial revenue and exposure opportunities, especially now with the level of fan interest this league is generating, could be canceled entirely. This is no longer a theoretical problem. Every day without a deal costs the league real money, real momentum, and real credibility with the new audience it has worked hard to build. Here's where we are. Today, Caitlin Clark steps onto an international stage with a gold medal on the line, and with the entire basketball world watching. Whatever happens in that game, it will once again make the case, one way or another, for what this sport is capable of when it's at its best. And back in New York, the people who run this league and the people who play in it are going to have to find a way to sit across from each other, set aside the posturing, and make a deal. Because the window they currently have to capitalize on this moment in women's basketball history is not permanent. The audience is here, the money is here, the talent is undeniably here. The only question left is whether the business side of this sport is ready to match the level of the product on the floor. That's the real story, and we're watching it play out in real time. Thanks for being here. If you want honest, passionate, no-fluff coverage of professional women's basketball, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. Do you think a deal gets done before the season is in serious jeopardy? Let me know. See you in the next one.